do the Wi-Fi, I guess.
I could try, yeah. Try hooking it up. I don't know, I got 5G here, it should be okay.
Yeah.
Usually is. Dude, this is a good background. Look at that. High class. You thirsty quackage? We're thirsty worsty. YouTube taking its sweet time, sending out the notifications. Gotta love it. Here they come. Here come the slobbering masses. Go away. Don't shoo me. Don't shoo me. I'm not a little alley cat. Pauline, Wisconsin. Oh, God, you know. Nice hotel art. I don't know what you're talking about, Johnny. This is just my new, painting that I bought for $1 million. So, shows what you know. Dude, this hotel room it's so weird, man. I want to show you guys something, okay? You tell me that this makes any sense at all, okay? Look at this. Okay, so right across from me here, we got a TV, right? And I'm sitting on a couch. There's that. Then I'm just gonna pan over this way. Doodly, 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 doodly. What's that? That's another TV at the foot of the bed. Explain that to me. I've never been in a hotel room that has 2 TVs before. It's strange. The 2 TV room. That seems designed to start fights between couples. I guess they wanted you to have a TV that you could view from the couch and the bed. And so instead of putting the TV like on a swivel or something, they just put 2 in here. That's for the Xbox. Oh yeah. Got 1 TV for the Xbox.
I don't think you can plug it into anything in there.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? Scoping out the new bunker location, maybe. What's it to you? Huh? What's it to you? Do you read your Twitter DMs? Not regularly, no. Am I in jail? What kind of jail looks like this? Who brings their Xbox on vacation? I don't know, man. Lots of people probably. I remember when I was a kid, I always wanted to bring my Nintendo. A Scandinavian jail. Yeah, I guess so, huh? Yeah, I don't really read my DMs very often. I don't like being contactable. I don't even like people I know being able to get a hold of me super easily. Like Amelia's the only one that's got the direct pick it up anytime line. Everybody else, you might get screened. That's just the way it is. The more people that can get in contact with me at the drop of a hat, the more anxious I get. So yeah, I don't read my DMs. Every once in a while I'll go through them, but when I do that, I almost always regret going through them. because there's usually a death threat in there or something. It's always fun. Just leave the death threats alone. Another drink. TJ spilled the beans. We know you went to Hobbiton. Oh. Okay. That's the meme. I went to Hobbiton. What's Dino up to? He's chilling. He's playing fetch right now. I'll give you some fan mail about the history of my people. Oh. Okay. Well, I appreciate it, but analyzing hidden upload data to pinpoint Paul's location in the mountains. Metadata. No. What? What are you goofing about? Want to say hi to everybody? Want to say hello to your friends? How about you, Cricket? Why don't you come say hello to everybody too?
Just having a prowl.
Yeah, Cricket's prowling. Cricket loves hotel rooms, man. It's like a new house for him to learn. How much do they put you over a barrel to allow pets?
It's $40.
Yeah, it's more expensive than it should be, but it's not bad. I don't think they should be able to charge shit for having a pet. Yeah, hotel art. I stayed in a hotel in Beverly Hills one time that had a bunch of like rock star paintings and like Marilyn Monroe stuff. Man, that was an awful fucking trip. I wouldn't read it. It's pretty depressing. Okay, I won't. I probably wouldn't have anyway, man. I'm not trying to be a dick, but I just got done telling you. I don't like being reachable. Because, like, to be honest with you, like, depending on who you are, I probably don't want to talk to you. At least not for an undisclosed amount of time and at your leisure, you know? So the notif for the stream, I was watching all Star Wars minisode, which is easily DFF's best episode by a country mile. Oh, dude, that one went way off the rails. Yeah, we're doing a lot of like extra. I think we had to do some extra filming that week or something. It was just like a real packed week, or was it towards the end of our shooting schedule or whatever? And
What made you really insane is because Scotty had to move, he couldn't pull an episode, so he had to go
that's
pull
right.
3.
That's right. Yeah. That shooting session, me and TJ both had to pull 3 episodes instead of 2.
So that's how question mark was born. Star Wars one.
True. That is true. Will DFF be coming to DVD with commentary and all? To commentary on a commentary show.
There's a cricket. Why do you scratch up the...
Whatever, it ain't ours, let him do it. That's what the $40 is for. Oh, Cricket.
Say hello.
Checking everything out. I want to show off your phone number. You got a phone number hanging around your neck, Cricket. Cricket. Crickety Cratchit. Doxed by your cat. I know, dude. Serious. The shade of it all.
I don't think he'd wander very far if he got out, but just in case.
Yeah, I know. He's chipped and labeled.
I know some people can just not have collars on their cats. I'd be too paranoid.
Yeah, I don't know. What are you doing? You don't want it. And you don't even really want to fetch it.
I'm lazy.
You're being a lazy bones. Why don't you just sit down? Sit down. Yeah, go on about your business. I don't want to do a lazy fetch with you. If you were actually fetching it, I'd do it, but you're not. You shout out my friend Mike Oaksalong. Yeah. Hey, Mike Oaksalong. What do you think I was born fucking yesterday with the Mike Coxalong thing? Come on. Come on. Hey, what up, Peter? Yeah, dude. Peter doesn't have to have a profile picture. Peter is exempt from every rule that this place has. Peter gets to appear how Peter wants. And all you guys can sit around and be yeah, he's a step above the rest. He's a cut above. Are you going to go see the movie The Northman this month? No. Nope. I'm just gonna let you figure out what it is that you're gonna do here. What is this about? Okay, you want to hand?
Trying to play fetch with the chat.
You want to hand me the thing? Okay, so I've got the thing. Now what do you want me to do with it? What am I supposed to do with this? Got the thing. I got your baby. Am I supposed to throw it? Am I supposed to throw it? Are you going to tell me? Oh, now you're going to take it back? I thought you were sharing. Am I supposed to throw? Am I supposed to? You can't take it back. You just shared it. Rude. And now you want to give it back even? What am I supposed to do?
You're gonna ham bone for the chat today, huh?
Yeah. Dinor, you look like a living existential crisis. You look like an existential crisis that came to life. You keep giving it and taking it. Keep giving it and taking it.
Why don't you do it with Mama over here?
Dude, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. You hardcore fans that have seen all the animals, does Paul not have the cutest animals? The other animals are cute. Look, I'm not trying to take away from the other animals. Look, I know animals. I know cute animals. They're cute animals. But I've got the cutest. My animals are the cutest. Let's be real. They're all very cute. I love them all. The most cutest. Banner is cuter than Salvador, but I like Corn Pop the most as cats go. You better take that back. Take that back, or Cricket will literally scratch your fucking eyes out of your head. Alright, so who's king cute then? Out of all of the animals in the DFF-averse, who's king cute? It has to be Dino. Dino's insanely cute. He's got that goofy cute too, so you can't beat that. Dirty old D. Yeah, Dino, he is silly. He's just a naturally silly animal. He's a perfect example of a mutt that would be completely and utterly useless in the wild. He has no survival instincts, no hunting drive, no prey drive. He's 100% goofball. 24/7. His eyes don't even look in the same direction, for God's sakes. He makes walleye work though, yeah. Yeah, it definitely looks good on him. He's mad he's having to fetch it off the bed, then jump back. But hey, you're the one to fetch. The whole process of giving it to you. This Dino. This dirty old Dino. They say pets are like their master. Yeah. I think you could probably say all that same stuff about me too. I wouldn't survive 10 minutes in the wild alone. Check. I don't really have any natural instincts that would serve me in the wild. Check. I've got a googly eye. Check. What else? I'm fluffy. Check. Yeah. I'm kind of cute, but I'm stupid as the day is long. Check.
Why are you done?
I ain't never done. I ain't never done. I've never been done. Just keep it. You keep it. You keep it. You keep it. Keep it.
Hey, come on.
You keep it. You can sit down. You just chill out. She ain't got it. This crazy boy. You look like you're inside an elevator. I am. You nailed it. I'm inside a perpetual elevator that only goes down, further and further and further down. What movie was that where there's an elevator through the earth? And there's like a place where the gravity switches in the middle and everybody has to like...
that Kong versus Godzilla.
No, there was one in that too.
Oh wait, no. It was the remake of
Total Recall.
Yes.
Total Recall. The remake of Total Recall has like a train that they built that like goes from Britain to Australia, I think, like through the core of the earth, and like there's like a place in the middle where the gravity like everybody has to flip over. Man, that movie was something else, dude. You talk about a disappointing remake of a film, man. It's hard to find a better, more disappointing remake than that one. That one did have a couple of cool things in it, though. As stupid as it was, I liked the conceit of the elevator through the center of the earth, and they had cool phones. Remember?
Yeah.
Like, their phones were like a chip in their hand, and you put your palm up against like a pane of glass, and it makes your phone. That was impractical, but kind of cool. But the movie sucked. What are you gonna do? People talk with their hands too much for that to work. Well, it wouldn't stop you from talking with your hands. What was your first cell phone? It was like an old brick. It was like a Motorola flip phone. Like a brick that you would pull the antenna out of, and it had a little mouthpiece, and you just a keypad and a little like LED screen. That was it. That was the stupidest thing ever, too. So I was working at MCI WorldCom, for MCI WorldCom, and they like had a partnership with Motorola to provide MCI cell service on Motorola phones. And so when you first got hired there at the fucking call center, they gave you this option of like, oh yeah, you can sign up for a cell service and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, cool, I'll do that. And I fucking never used it, dude. I took it home, it sat in a closet, and I forgot I even had it. And I ended up like going into debt, like not going into debt, but like years later, I got a collections call. Like sitting in my living room one day, my phone blows up and it's some collection agency. It's like, you owe $750 from your Motorola contract in 1999. It's like, what? Fucking Motorola oh shit. God damn it. That thing. That phone I never used. So I was real resistant to get a cell phone after that. It was a lot of years. I skipped the whole Nokia generation of phones. I skipped straight to the smartphone era, pretty much. Because there was just no point in me having a cell phone. I would forget it places. I didn't use it. A shitty slider I got through the state. Stay with a landline for a long time, yeah. First phone was a Nokia, Peter. Got ran over by a car. Yeah, Nokias were good little phones as far as I remember being told, but probably not like run over by a car good. Pagers were worse. Yeah, see, dude, I just lucked out, man. I was too young to get a pager. Like, by the time I was in high school, it wasn't even like, even the cool kids hadn't really gotten into pagers. Like, when high school ended, like, it would have been like, 97, 98. It wasn't even something that kids wanted. Yeah, that's kind of what the perception of them was, Johnny. Honestly, was like, if you saw somebody that wasn't in a business suit that had a pager, they were probably dealing drugs. you know. So, and then when I got out of high school, I went directly into the workforce basically, and I just skipped the whole cell phone thing. But pagers went out of style real quick. Like, they were all like the most popular thing with businessmen and shit, all through like the late 80s and 90s, and then they just disappeared. Probably for the best too, because can you imagine, like, if pagers had survived into the modern, like, advertising era, how you'd be getting pages constantly like 911, call blah 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 this number, and you'd be like, fuck, who's trying to get a hold of me? You call it, you've won a fucking assholes. You know what would have happened too. The telemarketers would have gotten to the paging business. Get a page, try and find a payphone, yeah. I mean, people pretty quickly, like, pagers were used to, like, let people know that you should call me, but people pretty quickly learned to communicate with basic text, like, without even having access to text. People would send pages that meant something, you know what I mean? So it wasn't necessarily like, call me back, it was just like, I love you, or... When I think of pagers, I think about the movie Don't Be a Menace. Oh yeah, there's a lot of pagers in that movie, huh? Oh, King Cricket. Oh. Okay. I just wanted some Gator. Some delicious Gatorade. Sports drink, you know what I mean? I've been hard at the sports. Rich Paul. Huh? Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Little View. I don't know if the world needs space, but I'm a person that needs space from other people. I don't like the paradigm of being like on call 24/7 to everybody that you've ever met. That does not compute. Best marketing strategy ever, advertising sugar water as a sports drink. Yeah. Actually, I don't know, man. I think vitamin water was even better. It's like Gatorade kind of like kicked the door open to that, but it was vitamin water that really cashed in. Because they were like, fuck, a sports drink, it's a health drink. Sugar water is a health drink for you.
Oh, capitalism.
Yep. I love that little part of Fight Club where he's explaining like the soap business, how they get like the best fat from a liposuction clinic, and he's making he makes the point that he's like selling rich people's fat asses back to them, selling their own fat ass right back to I love that shit. Am I in the Kremlin? Da. I was reading a thread. I don't know if it was on our subreddit or on another one, but people were talking about, maybe it was a tweet or something earlier. I don't know. I was half awake. Is that like a tweet thread? But people were taught, like, there was another like Ukraine Nazi argument going on, and there were people like, it was the craziest shit. They were just like, dude, the entirety of Europe is full of Nazis. It's like, huh? Yeah, like every. I mean, yeah, there's probably going to be somebody that identifies as a Nazi in every one of these countries, but you're telling me that like the entirety of Europe is just brimming over with Nazis? We're just trying to like equivocate, to say that like, yeah, because now it's getting to the point. You remember like a couple of weeks ago, everybody was like, man, there's a whole Nazi thing with Ukraine, just bullshit, blown out of proportion, blah blah blah. Now they're going like, well, because more Nazi shit keeps happening. So like, well, yeah, they got a Nazi problem there. I'm not even gonna front, but all of Europe is Nazi. It's just like, and this is something that was completely uncontroversial just like a couple of years ago. A couple of years ago, I remember there being tons and tons of news stories and little mini documentaries about like the growing Nazi problem, and almost all of them were centered around the Ukraine. It's been well known for a long time that there's like a pretty ridiculous Nazi problem in Eastern Europe, particularly in Ukraine. And now that they're the good guys in a war, all of a sudden that just gets thrown out the fucking window. It's like, huh? Well, yeah, we're doing it right now. We're funding Nazis in Ukraine to fight Russia, or at least arming them. How do you think that's going to work out? You guys remember the pictures from about a month ago of them just unloading crates of guns and handing them out to every grandmother and kid that walked by? Remember that shit? Where do you think all those guns are going to end up? What do you think those guns are going to be used for once Russia packs its bags and heads back home? You think all those guns are just going to be like brought back by the people? You don't think they're going to be conglomerated by, some bad actors in that fucking country and used against the very people that we're supposed to be protecting by dumping guns on? Fuck that. Set that aside. What world does protecting a people mean dumping a bunch of fucking unsanctioned weapons on? Like, how's that protecting people? Have we forgotten what happens in destabilized places with a bunch of fucking weapons? Have we not learned that lesson? Right. Yeah, people don't talk about that. This is like dumping all those weapons in Ukraine is not necessarily just about helping them against the Russians now. It's arming that populace for future, for the foreseeable future, with military hardware. And you can imagine these kind of battalions, some of whom have obvious Nazi sympathies and Nazi ties, they're going to be the ones that end up with most of those weapons. Those weapons are going to filter out from the populace and into the hands of the extremist elements in that country, and it's going to be fucking 25, 30, 40 years of conflict in that place. Guns, yeah, dude. The guns have a special like nano chip in them that after the war's over they'll just evaporate. battalions will be hoarding them, and then all of a sudden, comrade, what is happening? The weapons, they are disappearing. Oh no. Nah, dude. This is the sad thing, and this is like try and say this to somebody. The weapons that Europe and America dumped into Ukraine are going to kill more Ukrainians than Russians. I'll say that again. The weapons that we're dumping into Ukraine right now will be used against the Ukrainian people far more than it's used against any Russian. So once again, I want you to explain to me how you're helping anybody. If you're an average fucking peaceful, normal person in Ukraine, how are you helped by having a bunch of guns dumped on your country? You look like you're at a Subway. Yeah. It is kind of like 1990s fast food restaurant painting behind me, huh? Kicking it at the Jack in the Box. Giving them weapons promotes more infighting in Ukraine, if I understand correctly. Doesn't necessarily promote it, it just makes it more deadly. You realize Ukraine is already a very kind of like unstable area. There's a lot of like counter militias and apolitical armed elements and stuff, and they just got way more well armed. So I'm not saying like it makes people go fucking batshit crazy. It just arms the bad actors in a country and allows them to solidify power over the populace when weapons are just dumped and dumped and dumped into a country. If you want an example of that, just take a look at Afghanistan or any number of countries that America has armed and see how it happens. See what happens when those conflicts simmer down, but those weapons still cry out to be used in the hands of a bunch of militia members. And thoughts and prayers we should have gave them? No, diplomacy. Diplomacy in the lead up to this, we should have gave them. We should have given a good faith effort to come to the table with Vladimir Putin and see if we could address some of his concerns before it came to like full-blown fucking war. Yeah? That's what we could have given the Ukrainian people, but we didn't give them that. We gave them guns, grenades and rockets, mines, all of which will kill, mark my words, more Ukrainian people than Russian soldiers, period. There are going to be little kids in Ukraine playing fucking stickball and soccer and shit and get their legs blown out from under them for fucking decades in that country. Decades. It's being mined. It was mined on the Russians' way in, and they mined their way all the way back out. But whatever, yo. Slava Ukraini, fucking, yeah. War. Paul, what do you suggest Ukraine now? You think passivity towards Russia could lead to other communist regimes to invade their enemies as well, or is that too irrational and speculative? I mean, see, that's the thing, is I'm not saying that we should have sat back on our laurels and just allowed Russia to invade its neighbor or whatever the fuck. But here's the problem. We can't risk hot war with Russia. We let that cat out of the bag when we invented the nuclear bomb. and then let the information for that slip through our fingers and get to Russia. So when you're talking about having a war with Russia, we can't put fucking troops on the ground. So my contention is, and has always been, let's use our economic strength and our diplomatic positioning to try and figure out something that works for everybody involved, that doesn't involve blowing everybody to bits. So that's where I'm at. But the next time somebody's talking to you about the righteousness of arming Ukraine against Russia, ask them how many people, ask them what I just told you. Ask them if they think that those weapons will kill more Russians or Ukrainians in the entire service history of the weapon. If you were able to take a look at that weapon 30 years from now, and look at it and see everybody that it killed, would you see more Russian invading soldiers or more Ukrainian people? I think you know what the answer is, but somehow you're helping those people. You're damning those people. You're damning future generations to a destabilized fucking country, brimming with guns and militias and bullshit. You know it. So, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, isn't it possible that there just isn't a good answer? Like when somebody goes like, oh, what would you do with Ukraine? Maybe there's not a positive outcome for those people. I think a lot of them would probably agree with that. And for you to say that their lives were somehow made better by having the next 3 generations dogged with war weapons, I don't think you can say that, man. I understand, I understand how people get swept up in war and stuff. I've been there. I've been on the other side of that when I was a younger person. Just not there anymore. I've seen how these things play out over 10, 15, 20, 30 years now. Got a little bit of time under my belt so I can see the end result of all these military operations and wars. And you know what it is? Death, misery, starvation, humiliation, degradation for the people that live in those countries is the only guarantee. Period. So, heard your talk with Kyle made me reconsider a few beliefs I had. Good. Do you agree that Putin needs a diplomatic off-ramp in order for the war to end, or do you think that's just fallacious line of logic and reasoning? I mean, I don't know. See, here's the thing. I don't know. What I do know is that no good faith effort was made to enter into serious multipolar diplomatic talks. Do you think Russia is reasonable? No. Do I think the United States is reasonable? No. Take a look at the military expansion, the imperialist expansion that's happened under the American fucking global regime. No. I don't think any of these huge, war-crazy, nuclear-armed, insane, oligarch-run countries are reasonable. I think they treat their people like shit. I think they treat their neighbors like shit. I think they exploit the fuck out of the most vulnerable people on this planet. That's what I think. And I'm not gonna join in wagging my finger at some other fucking country when I live in this one that shits down its own people's throats every day. I'm not gonna engage in the weird moral calculus of lesser of two evils in this case. I don't trust any of them. You don't know what to support? Putin looks like a mix of Stephen Miller and Phil Collins. I don't see it. I honestly don't know much of anything about the war in Mongolia. If there even is such a war going on. Russia invaded a sovereign nation and imposed no threat to it. It's an easy choice as to who to support. Okay. Yeah, if you have the most simplistic worldview ever. See, notice that your statement was just in support of American interventionism in Ukraine, but said nothing about anything that I mentioned. So let me ask you that question then, guy that just posted that. Don't go anywhere. How do you feel about the fact that every one of the weapons that's being dumped into Ukraine will kill more Ukrainian people than Russian invaders? Oh, wait. And then I want you to explain to me how you've helped a people by giving them a generational curse of unsanctioned weapons in the hands of dangerous people. Oh, wait. I don't even want to do that because then he'll just call it whataboutism. If I go like, oh yeah, what about when the United States invaded Afghanistan, invaded Iraq? He'll just go like, oh, whataboutism. So I want him to tell me how he's helping Ukrainian people by flying a Ukrainian flag on his Twitter bio and advocating for more and more weapons and more war shit. Oh wait. I would rather die fighting for my homeland than live under Putin's rule. Okay. See, that's the thing, though. You probably wouldn't die fighting for your homeland. You'd probably be shot by a Ukrainian militia 15 years from now when shit jumps off again. With one of those weapons that you advocated for sending over there. Yeah, we've got ourselves a fucking commando in the chat. All men die, but not all men truly live. Yeah, dude. I don't know why how Jimmy even has time. Like, are you on the transport plane over to Ukraine right now, Jimmy? Because, man, dude, the patriotic fervor in your heart, you can call it whataboutism all you want. You have no clue how this will pan out, man. Neither do you. I will guarantee you one thing, though. Those weapons will kill more people within Ukraine than they will kill Russian invaders. That I will guarantee you. Got ourselves a badass. We got ourselves a badass here, ladies and gents. By the way, you know how the whole like Braveheart thing ended up in real life, right? You know that England went ahead and conquered everything again, right? Are you pretending like I'm acting like some Billy badass? Please point out a large group of people in Ukraine who've up till this point have posed any threat to it. Huh? Bruh. Like, you talking about Eastern Europe? Point out anything that's been a threat that isn't Russia to the people that live in Eastern Europe? Okay. Okay, Jimmy boy. Our system of education has failed miserably. The Stoopy is strong tonight. Dude, the Stoopy is strong when it comes to this Ukraine shit. Dude, this topic, there's some people that are acting real fucking Stoopy right now. And you know what the sad thing is that they will slowly but surely come around. Just like I've always said. I've watched it happen too many times. Rabid war dogs in the beginning, and then by the end, they're kind of pretending that they were always pretty much against it. Even the ones that are like on record making shows about it and shit. Putting a lot of cringe into the atmosphere. It's gonna take maybe a couple of years for it to rain back down in the form of like a meteor shower of death, but it'll happen. Isn't this different from us invading a country? Not if you're in Ukraine. Do you think that it matters in Ukraine whether it's an American army imperialistically, going house to house and shooting people in the streets, or a Russian one? I love America getting all high and mighty about war crimes too. This is not to excuse the shit that's going on, but like, there's no way the American government should have the fucking gall to even talk about it. Have you not seen the little pictures of Iraqi babies being carried by their parents with their skin falling off? People had their eyes burned out by white phosphorus, banned by the Geneva Convention, by the way, in Fallujah. You ever seen pictures of that first assault, on that big main assault on Fallujah? Dude, America's got no room to even speak. You know, the Vietnam War happened? You want to look at some fucking war crimes? You gotta look no farther than your own government. I don't even want to hear bullshit out of the American fucking federal government about war crimes. Imagine being someone who discovered the country of Ukraine less than 2 months ago, yet has the strongest convictions on it. It's because it's a football game. Yeah. Abu who? Abu what? What grade? What was that? Because I seem to remember, like, pictures of naked prisoners of war stacked on each other and being led around on dog collars and being whipped and being chained up to the wall in stress positions for hours and being hosed off and wearing some weird hood with electrodes tied to their hands and feet and shit and genitals. I seem to remember some. That was Putin. Oh, never mind. Yeah, that was Putin. That was Putin that did that. That's right. That's right. For a second there, I was confused. Yeah, Gitmo what? Scary how the media tried pushing less destructive nukes. Yeah. Oh, small nuclear war might actually be good for global warming. It's like, yeah. What's wrong with enhanced interrogation techniques now? Dude, that sounds like the most benign thing I've ever heard, man. They're just like normal interrogation techniques. Enhanced. It's like, why would you even want to use the other interrogation techniques, the unenhanced ones? Of course you want And see, there are people that will call this whataboutism. There are people that will call me bringing up America's numerous, continuous war crimes in the face of us all fucking wringing our hands over Russian war crimes as being whataboutism. I don't think it is at all. I think it's central to the fucking point. We're dumping war crimes into the Ukraine right now. We're dumping future war crimes.
War crimes are the example we set for Russia.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's hard to scold Russia. You've done it.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, on what moral basis do any of these fucking countries wag their finger at a war crime? It's not like anybody's holding the morally superior ground. You can't have a war without war crimes. That's kind of the hypocrisy of it. There are standard rules that you're supposed to follow in war, and nobody follows them. And thus, every war is a crime, which is why I don't advocate for the escalation of a war. Ever. And, 10 years from now or 5 years from now, when the people in Ukraine are suffering, and it's largely American weapons that are being pointed at them, there's some kind of fucking uprising there, I'll be on the record saying I was against dumping a bunch of fucking weapons into that country. And pretty much everybody else I know will be on the record for advocating for it. And we'll be trying to walk the strange line of like, well, I supported it then, but it's a bad idea now. Fuck that. Morally confused nonsense. Not I, said the flag. The pitfalls of groupthink in a nutshell. Yeah. It's like war puts blinders on a lot of the populace. There are people out there that are very, very hyper aware of how exploitative the American government is, how much lying the American government does to its people. But then, when it's wartime, a good chunk of people, those very same people, will go into America good mode. Where it's just like, I don't want to talk about none of that because this. It's like, I like how you're acting like it's all a big football game to Hawks, and yet if what you say is true, you'll act the same way. Huh? We need to bring back the tradition of both armies choose their best men, and who wins ends the war. Yeah, duels. Bring back some duels. Fuck yeah. Dude, I'd rather one person die than a million. Let's duels to the death, man. That'll settle it. You send your fucking most badass fighter. We'll send our most badass fighter. They go into the fucking ring, one of them kills the other one, and whoever fucking wins, well, that's it. That sounds good to me. You sell tickets to that shit too. We'd send Kimbo Slice, dude. Kimbo Slice is the one that goes. I guess maybe like early 2000s Kimbo Slice. He's probably kind of old now. Did Kimbo Slice die? Kimbo Slice is dead? No. Don't say it ain't so, man. What? Damn. Kimbo Slice was a real one, man. I watched him beat an eyeball out of a dude's head in a backyard wrestling match, or backyard bare knuckle boxing match. It's uploaded to fucking like E-Bombs World or something back in the day, dude. I watched him beat a dude's eyeball out of a dude's head. And yeah, that's the guy you send. Man, how did Kimbo die? I don't even want to know. Don't even tell me. Nah, man, his eyeball was fucking laying on his cheek. Yeah, I don't even want to know. So who would we send then? Who's our biggest Billy Badass right now? Who's America's, like, who's our Rocky, you know? Who's our Schwarzenegger? Chief Keef? No. Joe Rogan? Dude, Joe Rogan is 3 apples high, man. Butterbean, yes. I don't know. I don't know if Mike. I mean, Mike is probably still pretty vicious, but I don't know. Wee man. Oh Jesus. What about The Rock, dude? Yeah, The Rock. The Rock looks like a dude that could do some damage, man. So if like they're having like a, cause I think to make it fair, you would have to give them some different, like, put them in the jungle or something, make them hunt each other. It's the only way you really know. If Ukraine had 500 Chief Keefs, the war would be over. Okay, Jimmy boy. Jason Momoa would be better, you think? I don't know. I think The Rock would fucking take Jason Momoa apart. Have you seen The Rock, dude? How old is The Rock? Who cares? Have you seen him? I don't care if he's 150. They're equally buff? Nah, dude. Rock is buffer than Jason Momoa. I don't know though. You know Russia would send some big, bald-headed, bearded, fucking beer-bellied dude that was just like 7 feet tall. Had a hand that could like crush your skull. John Cena, no dude, no way. Just be some big Russian bear. like actually muscular, you know what I mean? Just huge, hairy ass pecs. Here is our champion, Yuri Ivanovich. Have Rock sitting there like, doing his like, bent down, getting ready to bull charge, you know? Yeah, dude, I'd pay for this. Tell me this wouldn't be a better way to work out our problems. In a more entertaining way. So we can have a whole ass, like, modern coliseum around it, you know what I mean? Talk about the pay-per-view to end all pay-per-views. And this new trade deal with Japan isn't working out. Tune in on Friday to see. You know, it's like they're going to settle this trade deal by sending 2 combatants. Japan sends a fucking ninja. We send The Rock. The Rock versus a ninja. Who do you think wins? That would be cool too, if we built like one giant mech apiece. Yeah, dude, a boxing match between Biden and Putin, that would last about 15 seconds. I think Putin wasn't he like ex-Spetsnaz or whatever? Isn't he like ex-KGB Spetsnaz fucking guy? Like he knows 10 ways to kill you with like a handful of dirt. He can kill you 10 different ways with a rubber band, okay? There's no competing. Russia might just send Putin. You know what I mean? Like we'd send The Rock and Putin might just show up like Nazdro. Riding a bear. Just like, oh shit. Big Show, dude, Big Show's basically crippled now. Like Big Show's knees gave out a long time ago. Big Show can barely walk. Putin versus Zelensky, that would be a slaughter. That would be a slaughter, dude. No competition. Putin would just like snap his neck or some shit. He'd do some crazy like, it'd be over. It'd be over so quick. Oh, the mountain. But he's Icelandic, isn't he? Fuck. I don't think the mountain that rides is American. I think he's from Iceland. Shit. We need to convince the mountain that rides to become an American. Because that's our guy. That's our dude. The mountain dude. Gregor Clegane or whatever his name was. Revive Gigi Allen. Dude, Gigi Allen used to get his ass beat at his own shows by a couple of skinny little punk kids. Gigi Allen, like, he wasn't known for being a badass. He was known for being a person that had absolutely no self-regard whatsoever and no regard for anybody else. Yeah, he's savage, but like, dude, I've seen shows where he got his ass beat by a skinny, like he went out and picked a fight with somebody and like a skinny, nerdy little dude will get on top of him and just beat him up. Like, Gigi Allen was not a good fighter. That was kind of the point. He was ridiculously reckless with his mouth and his physical actions, and he got his ass beat more than he ever beat anybody's ass. Anyway, I'm out of here.